Before we get started, I would like to apologize with some of the gameplay if it's blacking in or out. I was trying an Elgato. This was honestly my third Elgato, and honestly, this is the best I could to get the gameplay with trying it all out and that. But eventually, I did go for my older game card, which worked pretty nicely, and you'll see the differences. So, without further ado, let's start the gameplay, shall we? Alright, who wants some? Oh, hello everyone, GalacticStorm here, welcome to the show, and today, well, as you can see, I'm going to be reviewing and do some gameplay with the Halo Infinite test server. And I was able to get in the first 2 weeks of September and October. I don't know how I was able to get into the September one because I wasn't invited in, but I was able to manage to get inside it anyhow. But I just went into the Xbox Insider app, just downloaded Halo Infinite, and I didn't have to wait for no stinking invitation. Yeah, that's how I was able to get in. Now, Halo Infinite. I'll be honest with you, it was definitely worth the delay, especially with all the graphics and all the errors that they had within last year. So it was definitely worth the wait, and within the 6 years that it took to develop it. And with everything that was so criticized, now it looks really good. I have to admit, I played at least like maybe 11 and a half hours all in total. Just to be aware, I was working Saturdays, so I really didn't get as much gameplay as I used to. But yes, and honestly, I absolutely enjoyed it. So let's talk about the gameplay and what's different compared to the other Halo gameplays. Okay, so if you like Halo 3 with the mix of Halo Reach customization, well, that's basically what this game is all about. You have the customization with armors, legs, arms, fingers, your helmet, visors, etc, etc, etc. That's basically all the customization you're able to do within Halo Infinite. There's a lot. My only complaint when it comes to the customization is the shaders themselves. Some of them just, I don't like the idea that they robbed you of your full customization when it comes to colors and that. And they're going to take some of those shaders and put them into microtransactions and that. So yeah, I don't like that idea. But the gameplay is very familiar to Halo 3, like I mentioned. For Halo 3, you have equipment that you can grab from the battlefield. You can grab other weapons from the battlefield. I would say the more devastating weapons like the skewer, the sniper rifle, the rocket launcher, the shotguns, and all that. They will be placed somewhat in the center of the map, and they will be, they'll let you know about countdowns and all that fun stuff. So that way you can spawn onto them much quickly and get your hands onto those weapons. So yeah, with the movement in that is very similar to what I would say Halo 5-ish, I would say. But honestly, I changed my movement system to Legacy because I didn't like the movement system that I had. So I absolutely enjoyed my my movement, and that I spun pretty good. I might have to change that maybe in the later build of Halo Infinite if they have another test server in that. But other than that, no complaints with it so far. No complaints with lag or anything. So I probably got kicked out of the game just once, and that was basically it. I absolutely had no problems when it comes to connection issues or anything of that matter. Now, when it came to the weapons, I enjoyed a lot of the weapons, particularly the newer weapons. The sidekick is, I would say, absolutely amazing. I think it kills a little too fast, in my opinion. But maybe a slower rate of fire. A slower, not like a million times slower like the other Magnums in the other games. But the sidekick is honestly very good when it comes to medium ranges and that. So maybe they would have to nerf the accuracy if that's okay. Either or, I'll be really happy with some of those ideas. That's just my opinion though. With my gameplay and that. Honestly, I loved the banished weapons. I loved the Ravager the most, with its 2 burst kills. The pulse rifle I really wasn't a fan of. While it may not be like the storm rifle and that, I just didn't like it. From the slow rate of fire and that. The BR they did fix a little bit when it came to the I would say I thought it was a little bit slower in the first test, but in the second one they increased the fire rate somewhat. I think it's fine where it's at so far. Maybe a higher delay, or not a higher delay, but a slower delay when it comes to the rate of fire. And for some of the other weapons, the skewer, my god, I love the skewer. I think it's like the mix of a sniper rifle with a rocket launcher, but with 1 round. You can destroy vehicles, you can destroy people, obviously. And you know, with a slow reload and that, it definitely balances out from what I would understand. The only weapons that I did not try were the what's it called? The Cinder Shot, the Particle Beam, or I think that's what it's called. I apologize. Or no, Sentinel Beam. Okay. And other than that, I've only had a few complaints with some of the weapons besides the BR and the Sidekick. The Shock Rifle I didn't like because, you know, just when I tried to kill someone with it, it definitely doesn't work. But it does work on vehicles, so I can't really complain about that. But what about maps? The maps I thought were pretty fun. All except maybe for 2. The big team battle map I thought was... I didn't like it as much. But I did like the hidden doors and that you can put on. Especially if you can get like the rocket launcher or the gravity hammer from there. And Recharge was probably my least favorite map out of the bunch. It's wide open on some parts and you can basically kill from across the map or across spawns, from what I would remember, especially against strongholds. So yeah, that wasn't my favorite. But my favorites would have to be I would say between Livefire and Behemoth. Behemoth I thought was very awesome. It's like a mixture of I would say let's see, Valhalla and Sandtrap, but well balanced when it comes to the textures and the rocks, and with all the weapon drops and all that. I think it was awesome, especially when you have vehicles in that one. And what about vehicle wise? Honestly, I think they need somewhat of a nerf, especially the Ghost. The Ghost would take more punishment compared to the Wasp or the Warthog at this point. And I would say I think they kill a little too fast, especially the Ghost and the Warthog. But those were my complaints. But they do take a one-hit kill with the Skewer, so they might maybe need to fix that. Maybe. It depends on where you hit, of course. So overall, what do I think about Halo Infinite? Well, it definitely needs some fixes, especially with the glitches and the XB, or BXB, I believe it's called. I think they fixed that in the second test. But along with just some of the weapons and vehicle fixes, I honestly think that this is one of the best Halo games that I've played in a long time. This definitely reaches up to Halo 3, and Halo 3 is honestly my favorite Halo game when it comes to that. So it's really fun, and I cannot wait to play this thing on December. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be sure to look at my Facebook page down below. And until then, GalacticStorm saying, I'll see you all later.